Thanks everyone for coming. For the past month, my wife and I have had some time to reflect and examine what happened in this race for Congress, but also, the two prior races. But at the outset, I think it's unique and remarkable that we're even having this press conference at all. New York's unusual, very unusual, that there's no bar allowing someone who actually ran in a primary who was unsuccessful from continuing on in the general election. In fact, if you do the research, there's only 3 states in the union that actually would allow this. Here, Connecticut, and Iowa. So it's very unusual. Secondly, I think you have the remarkable minor party system here in New York State, where you have 6 parties that have ballot access. But again, I think very unusual in the United States. You allow fusion voting, where people can run on multiple party lines. So it's very unusual that we're even here today in the outset. I've received many, many calls, hundreds, maybe thousands of calls and emails and texts from support from people all over the district and country, since June 24th. And I want to thank everyone. I want to thank our great supporters, some of the people who are here who've done amazing work, not just here in 2014, but in prior years. We truly, Mary and I, thank you all. But I also, want to thank the people who stuck their neck out and supported me through the primary. And in particular, the Independence Party, who's been with me every time, especially local chairman Joe Bruce down in Constableville and Lewis County, but also Frank McKay, as well as Tom Connolly in the state party. I appreciate that. And again, thanks for everyone's continuing efforts so much. This year, I knew that I'd have a competitive primary, and I did. I knew that it was going to be competitive when we jumped in the race. But I would have never imagined that 2 super PACs would have come in, targeted me, spent over almost $1.5 million, and in particular, outspending me on television. I don't know if it was 6 or 7 to 1, but anybody who lives in the district, whether you get TV in Burlington, Albany, or here in Watertown, knows it was quite a carpeting. First, the super PAC led by John Faso. Now, we didn't really make this public, but John Faso played Bill Owens in my debate prep in 2012. Okay? Remarkable. And then the second, as everyone certainly knows from the TV ads, is American Crossroads, founded by Carl Roth, and folks who, certainly put resources and helped me out in prior campaigns. They attacked me for literally no other reason than they wanted someone else. Really, that's it. It wasn't about electability, and in fact, that's why I commissioned a poll in late May to make sure people understood what the outcome could very well be. And the results came back that I was up, over 20 points, and we have a good opportunity going into the fall with a substantial lead to be victorious. These are the facts. So that coupled with the fact that, look, I took on a tough, moderate incumbent in 2012. We know what happened here. It was one of the closest challenger race in the country. That of every challenger in a district that President Obama won with a Democratic congressman, we did the best. Now, look, it's very hard to overcome almost 6.5 points in a district like this, and we came up short. But that's the reality. And in 2010, look, we know what happened in 2020, so we just did reset the record. I think Doug Hoffman stayed on line. He did nothing to help me. And I got beat by a little over 1,900 votes and cost the Republican Party the election. These are the facts. And my wife and I, we've had plenty of time to reflect on all this and think about what it means. So when you think about this race, right now, 2014, and you think about, well, how did I get support? Absent all the TV, getting, bombed on TV and attacked, how did I, have such support of all the leaders, whether from state senators to former congressmen, from county clerks and the like, as well as newspapers. We see some people from the Watertown Times and the other part of the district, Glens Falls, not only encouraged me to get in, but endorsed me. How did that possibly happen? Well, I think when you think about the challenges we have in this district, you need a leader for the North Country. That's what we absolutely need in Washington. Someone's a businessman who understands how to create value and drive the economy. Someone who actually is from here, native son. Someone who can actually help folks in a tough economy, which unfortunately we have to struggle with every day in the North Country. He's been out, tested by voters, fully vetted. He was actually reasonable. He was independent. I'm not owned by anyone, for God's sakes, and I have the ideas and the work ethic to actually make a difference here. That's how I got such support. That's, in spite of getting outspent, I still got 40% of the vote. And that's the practical reality. So when you're thinking about this district, when you think about our challenges, what really we face here, in a lot of ways, I think what we just went through, mandates that I stay on, run as independent, and stay on the Independence Party line. I can commit the resources. I have the time to run. And with 2 untested candidates who are not from the North Country, there's a real opportunity here. But I'm not going to do that. The reason is simple fairness and principles. I am not going to be Doug Hoffman. I'm a Republican. I signed up for the primary. I faced the voters. I was successful twice. This time I was not successful. As my mom would sometimes say, it's life, it's tough, and you have to move forward. And so, when you think about being a Republican and having, what happened to us, look, to be honest with you, I'm angry at some certain segments of the Republican Party. But instead of trying to burn the place down, instead of trying to do something that we know is wrong, is going to hurt the people of the North Country, you have to view it as a family or a team. Look, you all have families here. You're not, love everything your family does. You might have teammates you can't stand from time to time, but you got to do the right thing, and you have to do the right thing from within. And staying on and trying to win the election and cause who knows what could happen is the wrong thing to do here. So, I'm kindly asking that the Independence Party let me out of my commitment to be their nominee in the fall. Number 2, I'm directing State Chairman Ed Cox and the folks of the New York State Republican Party to find a way to get me off the ballot before November 4th. And I am endorsing at least Stefanik for Congress right now.